Well, alrighty. How are we doing tonight? How are we? Couple things on the screen or on the agenda tonight. Couple things, couple topics. What we're going to do tonight is simply let's get this ugly mug off the screen. We have a few creators we'll be talking about tonight, and what we're going to do. I'm going to inform people about Benjamin because I was rushed earlier on my lunch break. Then we're going to get into Prayer Garden's disaster the other night, where she let someone say horrendous things about Summer. And then what we're going to do is, I think you see Miss Daisy in the title. No, I'm not here to bash her. That's not my plan. Mike, he has no face. He may have a mangina. We're not sure. But he smashes the like, and everyone should be like Mike. But what we're going to do is, I'm not here to bash Miss Daisy. Okay, but what I am here to do is give her a little lesson. Okay, a little lesson. Okay, I keep it real over here on Whiteboard Radio. Okay, I keep it real. Creators in the chat, I'm pretty sure checking is either in the chat, haven't even looked yet, or she will catch this replay. Okay, she's a creator. Okay, I'm not talking about her. Okay, creators that frequent my chat, I'm not talking about you right now. This has nothing to do with you if you frequent my chat or if I frequent yours. But this is what makes it hard to be friends with people on YouTube. And I'm tired of biting my tongue about it. And tonight, I'm just not going to bash her, but I will give her a lesson about her guests. Because I've been seeing, in my view, the people who I review and talk about, the memes I just put on the screen, they will never hit this link. I would never allow them to come on here and just mutt the family. And I got to start this off with an apology. I apologize to my subs. I do not want to always be talking about, I don't even want to say the Summerwell's case, because make no mistake, I'm not giving any information on Summerwell's case. But what I'm doing is, defending the parents in this case, something that I've done this whole life of this channel. It's what we've always done if you've stuck around here for some time. I do not want to be one of these channels that talks about Summer every single night, okay? With that being said, because I stick up for families, because I stick up for people getting bullied and whatnot, downing Candace Well is something that I've never seen. Okay, it's something that I've never seen. Okay, I'll never give up. I'll never stop. But I don't want to turn into one of them. One of these channels that just is relentless and that's all they do. For the life of this channel, no matter who I stuck up for, it comes and it goes. I could take the situation head on and address it and just completely roast whoever's doing whatever they're doing. And then it's the internet and there's a lot of scumbags. So the getting's always good. There's always going to be the next person, right? And it's always flowed like that. I kind of find myself at a across here where I would like to go back to doing that, but I will not allow people to continue to harass them and gaslight them. In some of the problem is on my fault because it's all good to roast them, it's all good to belittle them, to call out their behavior, but I have to at the same time educate because at the end of the day, this is true crime. At the end of the day, this is a missing persons case. And at the end of the day, these are theories, these are events, these are live streams that we're reviewing. So I have to throw in the how this is not even possible with the law. Okay. So I want to get that out in the open. How we're going to do it tonight, before I get to the comments, we're going to do Benny, why he was arrested. Yes, he bonded out, and what is in store for him. And I'll show you that there's more charges. This is a person who has had a lot of impact on everything I just said. We're then going to go to Prayer Garden on her live, where someone claimed to do horrendous things to Summer and called in on her live. Every tragedy pimp in the game was in the live. We're going to review how stupid that was and why she should not have cut it off. And lastly, we will talk about I need to get through to Miss Daisy. I'm not going to bash her. Okay, I'm going to talk to her. But before all that, just remember there's one more thing to debunk, and that would be Fred Hill and Ziggy lately. So this is how we're going to do it. Ziggy, Benny, Prayer Garden, Miss Daisy. Any creator that I speak of tonight is open to join, to push back, to debate. I will provide the link. If you're in the bushes and you're watching, go get your favorite YouTuber. Who's in the house? Cash Garden, how are you? This is getting out of control. I'm glad that you're in here, and I'm glad I saw your comment first. I talked to the Wells today about 3 times. My last conversation, I got so aggravated. I said, you have to get a lawyer. Okay? This is for you, Cash. His response was, it doesn't work. We've gone that road before with Don B. Basically, you can say whatever you want on YouTube. That is the challenge I bring to you. Because I know that you're very involved with change. I know you're very involved of what happened in Cash's case. There's a problem here. Okay, Cash Gordon, there's a problem here. The problem is he's right. Now, many will say he's not, but he's right. And it ties in exactly with what we'll be talking about Prayer Garden. Okay. When I start reviewing Prayer Garden, I want everyone to remember what Don told me. He's right. How is he right? And when I start talking about Prayer Garden, that intro that you saw with the Rocky song in the beginning was when I was doing Operation Coward. And I was going to fly up to, drive to Plano, Texas. And this is when I got my first of 3 police reports on YouTube filed. And I will remind people who don't know this already what the officer said about things on the internet. And this is why Don is right. But we'll talk about that when we get there. Hello, Running Bear. What's up, Dee Dee? How are you? Miss Sally's in the house. How are you? Cammy, Mark. What's up, Mark? Amy Lynn. Makala. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Wifey says I always get it wrong. Michaela.
It's not hard. Michaela.
Dolly Bear's in the house. We were chilling in her chat before, and I appreciate the notice and then for you giving me the meat and potatoes of this live, Miss Dolly Bear. How are you? Everyone in the chat, I have a moderator that's in the hospital. Okay, I have a moderator that's in the hospital. Let me find the comment. Yeah, if I still have it. This is very important real fast. You guys know this person, and here it is right here. This is my moderator, Minnie Trout. I'm in ICU in Longmont, Colorado with elevated heart enzymes and a pulmonary embolism. Have definitely had at least one heart attack. Having a heart catheter in an hour or so. Likely getting stents or possibly even bypasses. Please say a prayer for me. Thank you. Love all. If I can get a whole bunch of prayer emojis in the chat right now, I would appreciate it. And if you have faith, that's a good person. She's a mod of mine for a long time. Minnie Trout, I hope you see this. Matter of fact, I'm going to comment this right now to you before I forget. So if we can show her some love for those prayer emojis, that'd be helpful. And have the whole chat. Okay, so we got Miss Joanne. What's happening, Miss Joanne? Kiko, what's happening? Cinderella Element. Sorry about being late as well tonight, guys. My bad.
No, he's not.
It wears my patience when I stick up and fight for someone and then they run over and kiss the person's rear. Cash Gurn says, hugs to you, babe.
Huggy, huggy.
I will be listening. Okay. So, Cash, let me see if you responded to that. You know what? If you have, thank you guys for those prayer emojis. I really appreciate that. Cash, if you haven't responded, I would like to get a phone call with you scheduled, maybe a direct communication with the Wells, because this is a tough one, and I don't have direction and I don't have advice to give. But I know that you are the definition of fighting and fighter, and I know that you have a similar. Unfortunately, you have gone through the same situation here on YouTube. Everybody subscribe to that channel. If you guys are here for missing kids, then you should be showing that family support. If you don't know about that case, well, it says a lot. If you don't know what happened in that case, and you follow Summer Wells within detail, well, you should really click that link or do some Google researching, because some of the creators that you just love with Summer Wells, you might throw up in your mouth when you find out the same tactics and the same games, the same manipulation has been going on for a long time. Don't let me tell it. They're right in the chat. It's frustrating to me to have to do this, but we're going to do this tonight. The first thing that we're going to talk about is Ziggy recently said that she said that she spoke with Fred Hill. Now, we know that Fred Hill has publicly hit her panel, and he has called from jail. This is all old news. Everyone knows. I want to talk about the law tonight. She stated in one of her last lives, she was very carefully how she worded it, because she didn't want to get Fred in trouble, that Fred was a witness the day that Summer died. Okay, you have to understand one thing, people, and one thing only. This man is in jail for trafficking meth. It's not him getting some, he's not partying on the weekend. This is not some recreational use. This is the person who is the plug. This is the person who makes the meth. This is the person who sells the meth to drug dealers. At the minimum, Fred Hill is looking at least 10 to 15 years in prison. At the minimum. Because it's not his first offense for this. With him saying things like that, and for Ziggy being a complete moron and putting it on the internet, and with the people who watch these channels who don't understand the law and call TBI for every little sneeze, I'm sure that they've already been notified. And I do hope that if someone did call, I do hope that TBI follows up on it. Because in this situation, you have somebody in real life, not the internet, somebody in real life who's claiming that they were there and saw things, right? What happens is when you're behind bars, man shit, it is free game for them people. They will come and talk to him. Now, now, I'm just painting a scenario. If he would be, it's already said on the internet. So it would take somebody to call and tell TBI this. And if they were to go there and question him, you have to understand Fred Hill is looking at over a decade in prison. If you follow Ziggy, you support Ziggy, do me this favor, people in the bushes. Ask her to ask Fred what his deal is. What's the state looking at? What are they trying to give you?
She could just ask her.
It will not be single numbers. It will not be single numbers. It will not be single numbers. So my point to this is he's going to try to tell on anyone he can. Okay. Now in this instance, I'm all for it. Fred, you know what happened this summer? Get your snitch on. We need to find out, right? But that's not what it is. If the TBI would go there and he was to paint this cotton theory and all this shenanigans, well, this is real life. So now he would be either, two things would happen. He'd be either telling the truth to TBI or local detectives, or he'd be lying to them. Now, if he was lying to them, he's going to get more charges. Okay, more charges, which actually in this case, I hope is what happens. He's going to prison anyhow. And he's not comfortable in jail. On day one, he made a bold-faced lie up about how he got his ass kicked in jail. Unfortunately, this is something that I know a lot about. Nobody just gets their ass whooped for nothing in jail. Nobody. You have to do something. He disrespected somebody. Jail is all about respect. I got 1,000 jail and prison videos on the channel if you'd like to learn about it. I hope that they do question him, and I hope that he tells them all that he knows. And then I hope that they do their research, find out that he's lying, and then I hope that they case him up and give him an added charge. And I hope that Ziggy feels good about what happens when it happens. That's just legally what could happen. Okay, the police go to jail all the time, and pull people out the pods, especially if you got burglary charges, sale charges. They want to know why. If you have a burglary charge and you got caught red-handed, they got video evidence of you and everything else. Well, there's unanswered burglaries all around the county that you're from. You're already in jail. They don't have a suspect on these other ones. They're going to come talk to you because police have an easy job. Most people just talk, and you case yourself up like that. I mean, if you didn't do it, you say, hey, go fuck yourself. Not talking. But if you get all scared and try and you're innocent as it is, but you get all scared because they're talking to you and you start talking, you already lost. I don't know. Look up Chris McDonough and what he done to kids. But that's what I hope, and that's what I want to say about that. But remember, this is real life. He's an inmate in a county jail making these claims. Now, there's somebody on the internet repeating the conversation, but it takes one person to call a TBI and make that real life situation happen. Don't get that confused with when I get to Prayer Garden. Secondly, Benny Keys. Benny Keys, to recap what happened today. A few lives ago, the last live, I talked about jail and Benny Keys. We had his ex come up. The StreamYards wasn't working. She dropped down. That one. I told everybody he had warrants out. And at that time, he had warrants out for impersonation. Okay? That he did not go to jail. He did not go to jail. A warrant for your arrest means they are looking for you. It doesn't mean that you have the platinum bracelets on yet. From the time of that live until today, he was evading police. Today, book him, Dano. And he went in. He bonded out. Okay? However, okay. So, what you see here is out of custody for Collin County, bonded out. Okay? Collin County. Okay, now look. The second one, Collin County, case is open. What do we have here? Dallas County, open. I don't know what Travis County, case status unknown. That's weird. That could mean it's dropped. I don't know what that means, unknown. Case status open means I've only seen open and closed. Unknown is weird. So you have 3 separate counties here. Okay, you got Collin County, which is at the top, which he bonded out today. You got Dallas County Sheriff's Department. I don't know how far those counties are from each other. All I know is I live in a county where I live. And the county over there is a different name. All the counties in the state that I reside are all different. So this is clearly saying that there's another open case in Dallas County. And it's an open case. Now, at the bottom here, you have Travis County. The case status is unknown. I don't know if that's good, bad, dropped, open. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not from Dallas. But, this guy has a lot to do with tonight's live. This guy, in my view, is why Prayer Garden started a channel. This guy, for some odd reason, jumped up on Daisy's panel a couple weeks ago. This guy also created No Thanks Investigates, who also was on Daisy's panel the other night. Now, so this is going to be an educational lesson to Miss Daisy. As the title says, you need to toughen up. I happen to like Miss Daisy. I happen to know that she's friends with Candace. I don't care about her beefing with her sister and anything like that. That is irrelevant to me. And this has got nothing to do with my relationship with Benny Keys or Doug, which, for the record, is not good. I'm taking myself all the way out of this. Benny Keys has done a number on the Wells. Chat, would you please help me out with this? Doug has done a number on the Wells. The parents and Summer's case in general. I mean, I could sit here and be live for 5 hours to debunk each one's lies. Each one's lies. But it's not my personal preference towards these dudes. I've stated that a million times. Not about that. What it's about is victims of both. People know I don't like either one. When it comes to Benny, you can find a lot right here on YouTube. A lot. A lot. A lot. But you could really figure it out with the Wells, in case that one went over your head. With Doug, here recently, I've had individually a lot of women come on my panel, from Christina, from Miss Kate, from Danny, from Danielle. And in case you missed any of those videos, Danielle has a complete channel. So does Miss Kate. And there's way more. But you let these people on your panel and you call yourself a friend. I understand civil discourse and opinions and whatnot, but about a case, but really, what are we talking about? There's only so many facts of the case. If you call yourself a friend, then stand on that. Then stand on that. You without knowledge are putting your channel in jeopardy. You're bannovating. You're letting him come up on your channel and risking it to be. So we're going to school tonight, Miss Daisy, and you're welcome to hit the link. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to bash you, but you got to smarten up. This is YouTube. You cannot make everybody happy. You're taking a strong stance to support the family of a missing girl, which is not the popular opinion on YouTube, because a lot of people don't understand the law, or they're easily manipulated to these tragedy pimps. I commend you for doing that. But if you're going to do it, then that comes with having respect for the family. And you got to stand on that as well. So we're going to get into that in a little bit later. But that's Benny in a wrap. Now, as far as Prayer Garden goes, let me hit the comments right quick. Thank you guys for doing that for Mini Trout. I really appreciate that. Hey, Ro. Hey, Kay Shelton. Love the Eagles. What's up, Burns? Hey, what's up, James? Wish, what's happening? Blue. In a quandary, what's happening? Glenda, what's up, Deb? I really appreciate you guys doing that. I actually commented to her back and told her that you guys had this probably make her day, man. So that's really cool. Again, this is not towards Miss Daisy. I'm not bashing her, but it needs to be said, people. It needs to be said. It needs to be said. But as far as Prayer Garden goes, you know, I'm last covering this, and you guys already know. Let me tell you how none of this makes sense and how they are once again drawing you into something on a false reality, and how this is legally not possible. Okay. I'm going to start slowing down. I'm going to stop with the jokes and the parodies, and I'm going to start attacking this shit with common sense legal formality. Okay. Because there are a lot of people who are misled. I'm not going to call you gullible. I'm not going to say I'm right and you're wrong. This is true crime. With crime comes the law. Okay? With crime comes the law. Ah, shit. That's the TikTok. If you want to follow my TikTok, it's at Wifey Radio, but that's the wrong thing. Hold on. Give me a second here. Okay. All right. So this next video is going to come from Heels in the Air. Heels in the Air is in my description box. If you don't know, I went on her panel about a week or so ago and kind of buried any ill will feelings. In that live, what was discussed is she's on hospice, if you don't know that. So I spoke out about some things that I felt needed to be said, but that's it. I'm not going to attack or continuously call out or any of that stuff to someone who's on hospice. It was a civil conversation. I posted it in my members section, but we talked for a long time on that live, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. But it's there if you want to see it. But I tagged her in this description because this video is going to very briefly get through a very, very, very ugly live stream that Prayer Garden had. Now, if you haven't seen this, if you've been living under a rock, what happened is she's live.
I haven't seen it.
You're about to. And there's a guy from the UK with a very heavy accent comes on and says that he killed Summer. He ate Summer Wells. He put Summer's body in a wood chipper, and then he claims to have done it in Michigan with Benny Keys. Okay. Some person a lot of people on the internet actually believe this is the killer, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. A lot of people tend to believe that Benny Keys has something to do with Summer Wells. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but if you want my personal opinion, coming from somebody who strongly despises Benny Keys, I would tell you that's a complete crock of shit. Okay, I'm just laying it out there. That's my opinion. But as far as what we're gonna watch right now, this is Heels in the Air who clipped it. You have a whole why this guy is up there saying this. She doesn't kick him off. She doesn't boot him. I understand. Let him talk. What if it could be white boy, right? So you let him talk to a point where you're like, okay, this is sick, and this is the sickest trolling that I've ever seen in my life, and you get him out of there. But what happens? All the tragedy pimps migrate to the chat. Ziggy's in there. The Justice for Nobody's in there. It's Prayer Gardens live. All types of tragedy pimps just went to this live, and they all have one idea: let them talk. So I'll play you what you may have missed, and I'll tell you how they are also stupid. How it's not legally possible. Not my opinion, what I've known, what I've gone through, and what I asked a police officer about this same situation. But again, people, it's, I hate to say this, right? You guys know I can't stand tragedy pimps.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of, I don't know if it's people seeking acknowledgement or attention, or I don't know what it is, but they're only half the problem. I'm just being real. Like, I think a lot of people are just bored. I tend to believe society is not that stupid. How could a dumb convict, right, who's been to prison, break down with legal legality, these theories and this idiocy you see on YouTube? I can't be that smart. I can't be. I've come to the conclusion I'm not that smart. But what I am starting to believe is people are bored, and they are that smart, and they know it's bullshit, but I believe they just entertain it because I'm not that smart. Let's have a look.
Just do it. Okay, we're going to listen to your confession.
Listen, I killed some rebels.
Real fast, Heels. If you watch this, I tagged you, and I know as a clip channel, it takes hours to get it live and put this together. So I'm not going to play her whole live because it's wrong for me to do that. I do encourage people to go to her channel and watch this video in detail. Okay. I don't want to just play hours of her work and take credit for this. Okay. This is why I don't like to, I don't ever try to play clip channels content because a lot of creators take advantage of this. It needs to be said. Okay. Let's have a look. She's welcome if she wants.
I chopped her up and I put her in the freezer in little bags. And, I've just been putting her on the barbecue ever since, fucking lighting that shit up, fucking smoked, seasoned. You should always try a bit of seasoned well. I call it summer well.
Okay, listen, this is a very heavy accent. Did you hear what he said? Cooked her up, smoked and seasoned. Turn your volume up for this. TBI was contacted about this guy. Do you know if the Wells did anything to contact law enforcement about this guy? All right, listen. Please, guys, please stop. Nothing is going to happen to him. Nothing. Let me explain it. Let's get through the clip, and I will tell you why nothing will happen to him. I will tell you what his rights are, how he's protected, and I will tell you exactly what a police officer told me to my face in my driveway. Noelle, do you remember that conversation about free speech? And it doesn't even matter if someone says, I will kill you, if they're states away.
Doesn't matter, they have to be here in this state.
I will explain it all in just a second. Let's get through it, y'all. Please do not do this. This is a big problem with this community. This is not a boogeyman. This is a troll. And if anyone had any smarts to them, it's not hard to figure out who this is. This is somebody who's obviously from the UK. This is not just some random troll because he knows a lot about the case. It's almost like someone told this guy what to say. With that being said, the things that this guy's saying are coming from someone that's telling it to them. Somebody from the UK who's obsessed about the Summer Wells case to do a sick joke, and also someone who does not like Benny Keys. Who's that? I'll let you tell it.
Content.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, Summer Wellington.
Straight up, that's what you did to her? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm sorry.
What it was, and I don't give a fuck who it was right now. To be honest, I hope they rot in hell.
This guy with the fake tears. This guy. This guy. I can't stand this guy. I know he's gay and all, but I wish he'd just find a big old dick and get married. A big old black one. I just wish he'd fall in love with the dick and just get off YouTube. This guy, best friends with Molly. Cash Gernon's in the house. Why don't y'all ask that? Why don't you guys ask
Oh, no, don't
how?
put anybody on the spot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put anybody on the spot. Cash, if you want to comment, you can. You'll probably take the higher road. But if you know about that case, Cash Gernon, Molly, and what she did, you would despise anyone that lady associates with, which is exactly why the internet tried to tell me about her when I met her. And I should have listened. I should have listened to everyone who knew what happened in the Cash Gernon case. A lot of y'all don't know what happened in the Cash Gernon case. I know this. I know you don't. There's some that do, but a lot of you don't know.
The prank that's evil. It's meant.
This guy will turn on tears. He's not. How are you crying over this? You do the same things. This guy is. It amazes me. It amazes me. He covers the Wells case almost identical than Dre
Right.
McCrae. Did you guys know what he did in that case? Him and Molly? There were a lot of people who wanted to cancel this guy for what he did in that case. It came to a part where people pushed back on what the things that Molly were doing, and he doesn't. To be honest, he just attached himself to Molly. He wasn't even being so malicious. He's more malicious with the Wells family, but he got so much pressure, and that pressure bust pipes, that he caught himself in a mid thing here with a little tiny little bit of beef with Molly, because he knew right from wrong, but for clout, he was riding with wrong. People, it was probably his subs, it's probably some people that he liked that got in his ear, and he was forced to kind of say something, and then she got pissed at him. Y'all need to do your homework, man. This dude is not a good dude.
Mental illness or it's evil one. But either way, it's disgusting.
Miss Daisy, you need to do your homework as well. Another tragedy pimp that you always have on your panel. This dude has said some horrendous things to the Wells. Benny Keys has done some horrendous things to the Wells. He lied about trail cams, about having a phone. He's done a lot of. This is somebody who said you are not allowed to type Summer Wells in my chat. He did some really fucked up things, man. A lot. I don't understand for the life of me how you could be friends with the family. Like in real life, that doesn't happen. Like I'm friends with my friend's family, right? Like I'm never going to be sitting at the dinner table with this family and there's people there that are bashing them and accusing them of something that's not proven in court. I'm not entertaining that shit. For what? Let me get back to this, man. I'm getting off subject. This is the psycho guy that called and said all this shit. This weirdo's fake crying. It's let me get your attention. How this is so wrong, but they're all just stupid. This is not even legally possible.
I ain't never seen nothing like you.
Instead, she was chopped in the back of a wood chipper.
In your country, right?
No, in America. Over in America.
Okay.
By who? By who? What, you're afraid,
Money
you're afraid
don't
now
make
to say
fun.
yourself?
That's the situation,
I
bro.
can't say the criminal mastermind behind it or I'll be killed. Everyone knows it
that's
was a
great.
mafia
You gotta
boss.
put math.
Investigators here, but you don't know jack shit.
We know one thing. We know you're full of shit.
Right, and if you don't believe my confession, but you've got every right to your own opinion, right?
Okay,
Then
why don't you tell me, in America, where did you get her? What state did you get her out of?
I
Come
don't
on.
need to tell you that.
Answer questions. Which
We
state
all
did
know.
you get her from?
Michigan.
No, you didn't.
Michigan. You ever been to Michigan, dude?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm only fucking with you. South Dakota, obviously.
South-
Michigan.
who did you get it from?
So at this point, this guy said some vile things. Now he's literally saying, I'm just fucking with you. At what point do you just continue to? I mean, I expect nothing less than from Prairie Garden. We all know that she literally hates the family, like on a weird level. And we do know that she's obsessed with the case. Like, this is not even me trying to be funny. But the creators of the chat on this night, the true crime creators that people tune in to get updates on cases, they don't understand the law. So just so people know, this is not legally possible to prosecute. Okay, I'm going to tell you about it in a second. Okay, it's not legally possible to prosecute. Let's finish this up. So once again, TBI was called for nothing. Like, first off, what's his name? What's his name? You think Prayer Garden got his IP address? Come on, man.
For me.
Who'd you get her from?
The Fowler.
A Fowler?
No, the Fowler.
The seller?
The Fowler took her to work that day,
No, Mark, that's why he said.
and then I was obviously waiting there. She was hid under a bag of cement. I fucking fired up the wood chipper.
It was right now. To be honest, I hope they rotten hell.
34 months, almost 3
The
years.
prank that's evil.
One and only wifey
Mental
now.
illness
Hell
or
yeah.
it's evil one.
Bring it strong.
But either way, it's disgusting.
The seller?
The Fowler took her to work that day, and then I was obviously waiting there. She was hid under a bag of cement. I fucking fired up the wood chipper, and then, you know, it's like tomato sauce. You know, if you shake it without the lid on top, just sort of goes everywhere. Like, I had to buy a new shirt.
Hey,
It was the
dude,
most stressful days of my life.
can't you try to speak more, English so we can understand what you're saying? Right now, you sound like you got your mouth full of shit.
Listen, Somerville is dead, and no matter what we achieve in this conversation, there's
Why
no
don't
bringing
you tell us?
that.
Why don't you tell us where you got her from? Who gave her to you to do what you say you done?
Right, okay, I'm going to give you the truth, and honestly, it's been building up on me for ages. So, you know when Benny Keys went over to see the parents?
Yes.
Keys didn't go
Benny
overseas,
Keys
dude.
has connections. They hid the kid over at one of the neighbours' houses. I drove off with them.
So I just want to repeat this one more time. This guy is obviously trolling at this point. He's got a heavy accent from the Ukraine, Ukraine, Jesus Christ, from the UK. Someone's telling this guy what to say, right? They are negative towards the Wells, right? They're trying to paint Benny and involve him, right? So you have somebody who is a creator. I don't want to spell it out for you, but let's review it again. Let's review it again. Let me say it like this. Someone called in from the UK with some conspiracy theories. They have a distaste for the Wells. They said some awful things about Summer. They really don't like Benny Keys. Let that sink in. You can't figure it out? Well, you can't figure it out. I'd like to see some guesses though in the chat.
Keys, and then we put Ted in a wood chipper. And honestly, it's gave me PTSD ever since. He's a very disgusting human being. You don't know him like I know him. I've met him on social
Okay,
media.
well, never seen anything like it. Poor kids have had to suffer enough. They've suffered so much.
Shut your bitch ass up, you big bro. Go find a big old dick and just be in love with it. Marry it. Put a big ring on it, and just have fun with it. Get off YouTube. You're a piece of dirt, dude. You were there, getting you were. How do you have so much empathy and such a good heart for Summer Wells when you do, bro? This dude is in every creator's chat, every negative and anti-Wells. This guy, he has absolutely no life. He's never gonna find that dick. Never. You're just gonna be a lonely gay man forever. Go get some cheek. Go bust some cheeks. You need to spend half that time on Plenty of Fish or something, bro. I can't stand that dude, man. Anyway, man, look here. This is why it's not legally possible. You have somebody who's you see on the screen, heavy accent. Clearly, they're from the UK. Okay, and they're saying that they did all these horrendous things to Summer Wells. Yes, it should be an alarm bell. It should be an alarm bell. But within conversation, this is YouTube people. Through the rest of the conversation, I don't know how good people could hear that or not. You could clearly tell he's trolling. You can clearly tell it, right? Let me explain to people. A few moments ago, I said, if someone called TBI about Fred Hill, it is real life. They will go into the jail and ask questions. That is real life. Yes, the tip may have came from the internet. It's because he's detained. It's way easier. They don't need a warrant, a judge to sign off on it. No, they can waltz right in there and ask questions at their leisure in a little private room. But now this thing is all internet. There is no real life. The only real life would be someone calling TBI. Let me explain to you, the first person I covered on this live was Benny Keys. I'll take you back to the Petito case and why I had to file a police report for somebody who happens to be that dude that does not have a dick in his life's best friend. He actually simps for her, used to, very hard, okay? When the tragedy pimps went to Tennessee after the Petito case, before I started to exposing all of them on YouTube, before I said anything about a yellow cup, anything about anything you have seen on YouTube with Molly, JLR, or Bullhorn Betty, right? We had animosity because me and Noel were feeling some type of way. I had already gotten into an argument about them. I've already caught them in lies. They got to Tennessee, and they're like, there's bad blood between me, my wife and I, and JLR, Chronicles of Olivia, not her mom. Shout out to her mom, but not her mom. Chronicles of Olivia, Molly, Bullhorn Betty, JLR. We were tied into they really wanted us to go to Tennessee with them. I'm not repeating this. Chat, help me out. Help me out. Mods, you guys know the story. Help me out. I don't want to spend a whole hour on this. But I met all of them at the Petito case. That was it for me. This is not Petito. The Petito family don't live too far from here, okay? We went out there. We met these people. I don't know who the hell Molly Golightly is. I met I don't know who any of these people are, okay? I'm not making a career out of this. This is my community. I'm not flying to Tennessee. But there came a point where they all were trying to get me and Noel to go with them because if anyone who was subscribed back then, you would know that there's people who are swinging on Jonathan and Andra. Molly Golightly got ran down on like 4 or 5 times out there. White Boy was shutting that shit down out there. They wanted security. Big fight with Molly. I got into an argument with them. They were acting funny. I don't like liars. And no one can buy me. I've said all this a million times. I'm not repeating it. Meat and potatoes is shit got weird because they were begging me to go with them to Tennessee. I'm like, man, I just started a job, man. I can't go. I just started a job. They're like, this guy, Benny Keys. I get all these links sent to me. I'm like, you're scared of that pencil dick motherfucker? But it's all women. You have one mannequin man, Jonathan, and if you did follow the Petito case, you'd see when the neighbor swung on him, really Jonathan has a vagina, okay? And they're all scared of Benny for real. I'm like, look here, man. After a billion phone calls, after I talked to, what's his name? The cool gay guy. Molly's friend, best friend.
Princess.
I even talked to Princess.
Sorry. Can't think of his name.
Princess was begging for me to go with and help them out. So I'm like, look here, man. This is what I will do. If Molly, if you buy the ticket, I'll fly up there for one day. I'll fly up there and I'm going to leave on the same day. But what we can do is we can go do a video in the hotel room, go over here in the woods and just have me in the video. Get about 4 or 5 videos out there on everyone's channel just with me with you. That dude won't bother you.
She was sweating you. She wanted you there.
They were deathly afraid of Benny Keys before they left the plane. When they land, I'm talking about deathly afraid of him. I've already played voicemails, screenshots, DMs. When they land, oh, I think he'll fanboy when he sees me. Whoa, what? You were way afraid of this guy. And I know you in real life, lady. I know what you asked my wife to hold your hand to walk down a street here in Florida. There's like no bad guys here. But when people did yell at you, I know what happened. You got petrified. Now there's somebody who's really saying he's going to do physical harm to you, and you think he'll fanboy? They're shenanigans. That was really weird. I've showed this all in proof. Go back and look. Next. Everyone stops answering the phones or responding to text for a little bit. And then next, an Abraham Lincoln motherfucker comes running down the driveway with a log. And the lady that was holding my wife's hand, if you don't believe that, my wife, I drove my wife to the meet and greet, and all them people said she had weapons in her hair. It was only Noel.
It wasn't even our meet and greet.
But I see this tough lady in the face with this guy with the log. I see this mannequin yelling at a guy with the log. Wait a minute. This is not real. I know all of you in real life. This is not real. And you're not answering the phone. Something is not adding up here. The same day with the log stunt, all these people on YouTube all freaked out. 9,000 Molly supporters. blew my phone up, my wife too. I am mad at them. I am literally angry with them because I'm figuring this out in real time. I have not seen the log yet, but I understand they're not communicating with me correctly like I'm used to. And a million other things. This is a real fast wrap up. The day of the log, my phone is blowing up. I'm working. All I know is Molly Golightly's life is in jeopardy. Her cell phone cannot call 911 and she needs cops.
But she sent a multi-text. It was like 6 or 7 people.
Group text. This is all stuff I've talked about in the past. I've showed the receipts for all this. My chat can confirm this.
Fucking idiot.
Andra also texted.
Hey, come back to Florida.
So they're text. I've played the voicemail. I showed this. They're all wanting me, who's not with them, to call the police because there's a life in danger. Me, as a loyal person, Miss Daisy, loyal. Me, as a loyal person, who's upset with them, calls the cops.
I was so annoyed. Tell him, I don't even care. I
I
don't
said-
care. Asshole. I was yelling at him.
I don't know what's going on. I said, Noelle, are you getting these messages? She's like, I'm getting email. I said, listen, man, just call the police. I don't know what's going on.
I ain't doing shit.
I said, Noelle, just call the police. The police come over here, finally. I drive home from work, which is why we're here. The conversation with the police, I say, hey, I don't know this guy. I got his name. I have some people that I met. I told the whole story, and they're up in Tennessee. I have literally, they're telling me, I can show you their text messages. They are telling me that their life is in danger, and he said he's going to kill them. The cop's just looking at me. I'm like, what are you going to do? He's like, I can't do anything. I'm like, what? He tells me in my driveway, this is when I really understood the internet. He said, it doesn't matter if he said he's going to kill you or said that he killed, excuse me. It doesn't matter if if he says he's going to kill your friend or if he said he killed your friend, it's freedom of speech. I'm like, what? He's like, the only way possible that I could do something about this is if it was said, if the person threatening your friend was in Florida and you're calling me out here to your house in Florida, we can then proceed on it. Keep in mind, I'm in Florida, they're in Tennessee. Now, this situation I'm talking about over here is a whole different ball game. This guy is from the UK and we're in the United States. Nobody knows his name. Prayer Garden is a moron. She don't know how to get an IP address. Nobody knows who this is. So you're wasting the TBI's time. Wasted resources. They've said, do not call us if you watch a YouTube video. You people keep feeding into these tragedy pimps, man. This is documented what a police officer told me. If you don't believe that one, this is not the first time I had to do this. Just had to go through it with Crazy Avery. Recently, I said, what's going to happen between Queen Bee and Bullhorn Betty is they were going to throw the lawsuit out. That's going to happen. No one's going to have to pay any money. You calling the police on a YouTuber, it does nothing. What you have to do is call the police. And here's this is the system. This is the order it goes. Because what he told me, nothing can happen. I didn't want to do that for an answer. I'm like, dude, you can't just threaten to kill people and nothing happen. He's like, it's freedom of speech. What you have to do is make the police report. They'll assign you a detective. And if the detective finds grounds of what you're claiming, they take it from there. Now, here's where the beginning of this video, this live, I played the boxing thing when I was going to go to Operation Coward. This is when I first, Operation Coward came after I exposed all them, after I'm figuring all this out. I'm really mad at the tragedy pimps, but this guy, the Abraham Lincoln dude, is still talking shit. They were like embarrassed and didn't push back until I was really. I play a voicemail. Everything I just said, where Andra's like, the threat is at 0. Don't believe anything that you see on the internet. I played it for the internet. Meat potatoes is they were all in on it, people. It's common sense. It's common sense.
Yeah, and then don't forget, he was on Marissa's panel
Yep.
a couple of times. And Benny also said every time he ever told Marissa he was going to do something for her, he did, and he was pissed because she died.
That simp was there. He was there for all this. But what I'm telling you is this guy on Prayer Garden's panel, this guy cannot be arrested. It's not possible. Think about it. Think about it. I had a police officer in my driveway. I have a screenshot proof from people that I knew requesting help that I called 911, stating that life is in danger. I have a name. I have people that I know, their government names. He told me it was said on the internet. It is freedom of speech. So people called TBI on a guy, no one knows who he is. Prayer Garden is not a smart person. I would give her the deed to this house if she was smart enough to think to get his IP address. She don't know how to do that. She can barely work StreamYards. So what are we doing here? We're doing nothing. We're doing nothing. But everybody is in that chat. Let them talk. This is an arrest. These people are not detectives. They're not even sleuths. They're dunces. They're stupid. They're literally stupid. They don't know the law. They don't. This is a personal experience. I can give you a case number if you hit me up in a DM. Let me hit the comments. But, you know, I left a lot out on that story. But it is just a lot out with the tragedy pimps and whatnot. You know, if this is the first time that you're hearing any of that story, I strongly suggest you go back on my lives and you watch anything that says Molly Golightly exposed, Bullhorn Betty, go about 2 years back. And everything that I'm saying, you will get a receipt, you will get voicemails, you will get DMs, you'll get it all. This is why I had a rough start with Don Wells. Because before all that happened, it was Doug, No Thanks Investigates, to give me Don Wells' phone number.
No, we got it from, I thought we got it from.
I got, yeah, Marissa sent me the number and Doug did.
Oh.
Now, I called Don Wells before they left, before they got there. I did not know Don like I know him today. And I did not have let's just say I wouldn't have stuck up for him then.
That was your first time ever speaking to him.
I call him, I say, hey man, look, I keep it legal. I said, I know you're in some trouble with, I know you got eyes on you because you got a missing kid and whatnot. If I got to come up there, bro, that dude, man, you know, I don't want to have to bring police to your house again. And he's like, what? And the phone hangs up. He calls me back. And I answer it. We talk for about 10 seconds and the phone hangs up. I call him back. He don't answer. I don't know where he was. It was a bad connection. But now I'm thinking like, I don't know this dude. I'm not going to continue to call his phone. I got to keep it like even because just in case cops get involved, call logs get shown. I don't want to call him 10 times to his one. I'd rather it be the other way. Don, you dick you. What Don did is, and he don't know me at this time, he gave my number to Benny. I've showed all these screenshots. I've played all these voice clips. This is all 2 years ago, people. This guy, Benny, calls, and he's on some real tough shit, right? Which really is why I stay on his ass to this day, right? He's talking cash shit like he's tough, okay? There's a lot to go into this, but, you know, I got off subject, man. I was telling people who don't know. I know a lot of people don't know that. You really should do the research. White boy keeps it as real as it gets. Anything I say is verified, and you can go back on the channel and look at it. I don't have time to show you all that. It's all on my Google Drive, though. But this is so stupid. Nothing's going to happen to this guy. But every creator is in the chat when Prayer Garden has them on, and they're like, "Oh, TBI, this and that." It's like, no, man. You have to stay within the law here, people. This is not going to happen. It's just not. You're wasting resources, man. This is why the TBI, man, they don't tell people anything public. Think about this shit right here. This little incident. All the tragedy pimps are like, yeah, this is great. We have a good thing here. No. You're telling your subs to call TBI. You're wasting more resources. This is why they don't want to say a fuck thing about Summer Wells. And the same people will turn around and say, TBI is not doing their job. Man, you have got to be crazy. They've only said it 3 times, people. I'll hit some comments, man. I'm going to wrap up with my Miss Daisy part. She doesn't, Saleha. There's no way. I'm glad that your husband watches the channel. That makes me happy. What up, Dee Dee? Amy Lynn, and this is what I'm saying. This guy right here, he just called TBI because he thought Candace was a subscriber. And now he's in there helping people call on someone who's trolling who will never get arrested. Go look what he's done in other cases. That's why listen, man, for what it's worth, I like Miss Daisy. I frequent her chat. But, man, I hate when that dude's in there. I hate it. I talk cash shit. And when I see him, some of you been in the chat when you see me and him. I'm like, hey, Justice, great job calling TBI on not Candace. You know, he gets all embarrassed. No, fuck that. He needs to hear it, man. He needs to hear it. That's part of the problem. But a lot of these people, man, they just don't. You got to chill, dude. You got to break this shit down with law because it's just like Trump and Biden. Matt, I'm talking to you. I know the ADHD is going bad right now. You got people that support Biden and nothing's going to change them. You got people that support Trump and nothing's going to change them. But you got to wake them normies up. Matt, you got to wake the normies up. The only way you're going to do it, Matt, is if you give law. Prove how this dude's not going to get arrested. Prove how a blue couch is impossible because TBI still has his belongings, laptops, computers, and more importantly, data. The data showing every possible location Don and Candace went a month before Summer went missing and a month after. So for anybody to claim that they drove somewhere and did something different and sneaky, it would be impossible for Don and Candace to do this, and the TBI and FBI don't know. Especially since, if anyone's been watching the channel, they would know, Matt, that the guy Doug, No Thanks, over on Kick, is trying to be cool and start a channel and call Don Wells, and Don Wells' number don't work because he just now, as of last month, changed his number, meaning for the last 2 years, he's had the same phone. You got to wake the normies up, Matt. You got to wake the normies up.
You all right, buddy? You all right, buddy? Yes, you are. I see you. You're so handsome. Yes, you are. Come here.
So what I want to do now, man, is I want to really play Miss Daisy's live with Doug. And I just want to correct Miss Daisy on some things that she said to Doug and point out what Doug is doing that she does not understand. I also want to correct Miss Daisy on some statements she's made about Doug in past cases. Anybody know if she's live? Can we get her over here?
I saw Yankees regarding it. I got to. Alright, I'm off the doggy here in a second. I know. Wow.
What script? What is the script thing? I'm not understanding. Way behind the chat, but what is the script? It doesn't. What part of he's not going to get arrested? I'm going to end this, man. If I keep seeing, if I keep hearing about this guy, what part of I had a police officer in my driveway. This is white boy. It's not a tragedy pimp. It's not one of these YouTubers that lies. I got the report right here. What part of I had a police officer in my driveway with proof. People are emails, text. People's life are in danger. Why? Someone's threatened it to take it. What part of 911 was called? They parked in the front driveway, came and talked to not only me, but my wife, as people not understanding. What part of they said it is a freedom of speech. There's no way we can arrest him, is people not understanding. What part? The reason why they couldn't do it is because, and here how it even gets more complicated, is because Benny Keys at the time resided in Texas, but he said what he said in Tennessee. That alone is a big fuckery. A big fuckery. After talking to the detective, the best thing that could have happened is if he said it in Texas and didn't leave anywhere, and I could provide the detective with enough resource and links, then they may have pursued it in Texas. He said if it was said within Florida, if all parties were in Florida, then they can do it. Now, here's the thing. This is why I failed. This is why I didn't go to Texas. I said, I don't know who Benny Keys is at this point. Anybody who knows about Benny Keys, send me links. Here's an email. Here's this. People are sending me live streams. Okay, what is this? It's 4 hours long. Oh, he says this is that. I'm needing concrete evidence. A couple people sent me dog videos, this and that. But I have to send this to a detective. They're not watching 4-hour live streams. Hell to the no. This is where it becomes complicated because I'm asking for help, but no one knows how to download a live and edit the timestamp that whatever said, and just send me like that 3-minute clip. No one knows how to do that. And I'm not faulting anybody for that, but if I would have provided the guy, actually, that was a woman, wasn't it? It was a woman. If I would have provided the woman with all, her name's right here, I believe. Canova. If I would have provided Detective Canova with all the shortened up links, they may have went after him. Good luck doxing that too, because I don't know this guy. I'm mad at these people. I haven't figured it out yet. I did under Marcy's Law. Marcy's Law means my name is not attached to this police report. So good luck. That's why I could say the detective's name. The comments pissed me off. Like, I don't understand, like, how people aren't, this is not registering. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm going to give it to you blood raw. And that's just what it is. If you don't believe this, you can go back on the live when we had to call the police on the psychotic nutcase called Avery. And yeah, we did it and all this, but I said it then. I'm like, man, this is going to equate to nothing. Already been through it. Hey, good night, Mark. Good night. Anyway, man, let me
It would have if the detective, that PI Jason would have said something because she.
So I'm gonna play Miss Daisy's live. Miss Daisy, I hope you watch this, man, because you need to know some things here, and I'm gonna break this down. And again, this got nothing to do if you think that I don't like Doug. I have. If you want to know about Doug, well, I'm gonna teach you about him right now. But if you really
She
want,
said she was anyway. She's gonna show her face. I don't know what the hell has been going on.
What's happening, cow lady?
you really want to know about Doug, I don't know how many of his survivors I had on this channel. So many of them. I don't make this.
Well, no, I didn't start fighting with him.
Oh my lord!
We might have to watch it like this, y'all. I know it's not big and all, but let me see what notes I have real fast. Hold on. So we're gonna start it at 2 minutes and 12 seconds, 2 hour mark, 2 hours, 12 minutes to 2:17. And I'm gonna break this down for y'all. I'm gonna break this down for Miss Daisy. My chat already knows this. Miss Daisy, you need to pay attention to this. Wait a minute, this is the wrong thing. Hold on a second. This is the wrong thing. Give me a second. It's gonna be okay. Let's do it like this. Miss Daisy, I really hope you watch this. For real. 212 to 217. Here we go, y'all. Let me get there. 212 is gonna be right.
No, my channels are gone.
I hate that because I really did think you did great with Dylan Round's case and other cases and stuff.
I appreciate that. I put a lot of work in. I appreciate all that.
Miss Daisy, he did nothing for Dylan Rounds. What he did was he got his moderators in his Facebook group to find Jim Terry TV, who was a private investigator for the family. Jim Terry TV at the time did not have a YouTube channel. He would come on Doug's channel and give insight on the case. he did no groundwork on that. While he's on your live, and as you praise him for the work he's done on cases, he brings the West Boys up. Do you realize he got arrested covering that case with Benny Keys? Do you know what happened? Do you know the sheriff of that city has videos about Doug? Do you know what havoc he caused? Right along with Benny Keys? Did you know any of that? Dylan Rounds, allegedly, people say there is homosexuality involved. And I have no problem with that. If you listen to Doug for 30 seconds at a time, he's going to say a million homophobic jokes, which is why I always wondered why he and Justice for Nobody could even collab. The family, he also has a lot of things going on with the family that maybe you should know about. You really should. Do you know that because of the traction that Doug got, because Jim Terry was on his panel so much, this is why Jim Terry ended up making his own channel. Doug promised this guy a monetary amount for coming up and giving the audience some transparency about the case. Doug ended up promising him a monetary amount, not giving it to Jim, and Jim told him to fuck off. And then it was a smear campaign between that Doug tried to gaslight Jim on. Jim's not a pushover. It was Jim's private investigator work that helped the family. But because Doug gaslighted Jim Terry, they wanted to make a movie about this case. And payback to not getting paid from Doug, Jim Terry contacted the directors and told them that Doug, on No Thanks to Investigate, shoved a broom up someone's ass. If you don't let me give you an educational lesson, Miss Daisy. Here's a link for you that was published in the LA Times. Not only that, that his whole family has, not his whole family, I take that back. His ex has a restraining order against him. And that was told to the private investigator by the ex's mother and father. They also said that they are afraid of Doug, that he's got a bad case of paranoia and many other things. Thus is why Doug can't stand Jim Terry. Here is the link to the broomstick being shoved in someone's ass in the chat. Now, keep in mind, Doug has family members that are police. Thus is why he got out of this situation. While you're reading this article, you can put together one and one, come up to two, and find out that the person that we're talking about happens to be Doug Hunton, and there's a police officer talking to the reporter, and his last name is Hunton. That is in the chat. You cannot say this guy has done good work for families. No. What he's done to the Wells and how you would have him on your panel blows my mind. Let's continue. Link is for Miss Daisy.
I just think that sometimes this case can get a little bit overwhelming for everybody, not just.
Well, see, I'm humble enough to know that whether I have a channel or not, and if people took me down for a reason, or if people got rid of a good voice, it's up to whoever to think, and it's up to their perception, right? The cancel culture is, let me tell you guys something, and you guys are going to believe it and hate this person so much because that person you should already hate by the time you hear him for the first time, because I told you should hate him. Right. So the cancel culture is telling you should hate the truth all at first, because the cancel culture wants the not truth out there, because that cancel culture can live longer because you guys are bigger and the cancel culture is bigger than the truth tellers, right? So you guys can outweigh us, but you can't get rid of us. That's the fact.
Truth teller, and just a side note, Miss Daisy, just in case you don't know this guy was not in true crime. He fumbled his way into true crime. He used to record police, like literally like a Karen. Please see my second channel or this channel for some clips for reference. He would record and harass police officers. There's plenty of video. Please see AB's channel for reference. AB's been on this guy for a long time. He's got all his little police videos. The problem I have with this is I know that you're friends with Don and Candace. This guy, and just in case you think that I'm talking out of my ass or something, Miss Daisy, this is an educational part for you. Maybe you haven't heard this. Maybe you haven't heard this.
You're all right, Missy.
If you really want to know what Doug's about, just reach out. I'll show you. But I'd rather let you hear it so you know I'm not lying. Everyone knows his voice, right? And you're friends with the family, right?
Hey man, Doug, give me a call when you get this, bro, or tomorrow or whatever. We're going to bed here shortly. Wanted to find out if you can do me a favor and see if we can do us a favor. Actually see if we can get Don Wells not to come on, but to talk to us and answer some questions. It's not going to be any hard questions. It's not going to be any crazy questions. They're actually on his side right here, trying to get answers, bro. And I think there's a few things that he can help out with that'll help a lot. Just stuff that has to do with the timeline. Has nothing. No, there's not going to be any finger pointing. Nothing. So if you could get back to me and see if we could call him, or if you could give me his number and I can just text him or email him. He sends me his email because his other one doesn't work. All of his old shit's gone. So let me know if it's possible so I can try to make something happen. I'm trying to find Summer, bro. I think we're really close, and I think if we can get him to talk and not get him too many crazy questions, he may just answer the rest of the stuff that we need through conversation. I know how to deal with him, bro. I think we can make it happen. It'd be huge. So let me know. Just want to talk to him behind the scenes, ask you a few questions, kind of thing. Nothing has to do with directly has to do with him because obviously I'm promoting his innocence and everything right now. So let me know, bro. All right, talk to you later. Bye.
See, here's the thing, Miss Daisy. I actually know this dude. I used to talk to him. Something really weird happened when I ended up apologizing to Tim Mullins and Don Wells. And I formed my own relationship and my own view. Okay.
Love you. Love you guys.
That's a crock of shit in that minute and a half voicemail. He doesn't promote Don's innocent. I'm not going to team up with him to stab Don in the back. I'm not doing any of that. He's the dude is obsessed. This is him calling because I finally convinced Don to leave. Don't answer this guy's number anymore. Don't do it. Ignore the guy. And to this day, they don't panel hop like that. They don't panel hop like that. Why is he on yours? Why? That guy is talking about a time. What timeline? There's only one timeline. Who are you to create a new timeline? Who are you to? It's clear and evident right there by listening to that this is complete fuckery. But you cannot be. You can, man. Come on, man. You got to tighten up. You got to toughen up. You got to toughen up.
Whether I lose my channels or whatever, whoever it is, we're going to be around, and it's going to be about these voiceless people. And Summer Wells is a big part of my life. Like, I'm No Thanks may be dead, but I'm not. I'm my own person. Right? I've been a moniker in pro wrestling. I've been a moniker everywhere else. Guess who I am? I'm a real fucking person. And at the end of the day, if this real person has to come out and lose that moniker, yeah, it's a tattoo that may be on me, but it's a part of me.
Well,
so like that'll never be.
Now, I don't want to go too hard on Miss Daisy, but she does need to hear this, and this is going to be it. I'm not going to talk about Miss Daisy. I like Miss Daisy, so everybody understands. I think she makes poor decisions on her guests. I think she should stop letting people who have ill intentions and have said horrific things about the Wells on her panel. This is you're just not a subscriber can change their mind. A subscriber can think for themselves. If there's a creator who has been one way with the case and one way only, they're not going to sporadically wake up one day and say, you know what? I was wrong. Nobody, you know who does that? White boy apologizes. That's about it. I do get to pat myself on the back for that. No one else does that. I'm sure there's some that do it. But if I get something wrong, I publicly say it. I don't care. I'm not perfect. But these people that are obsessed about the case, they're definitely not going to do it. You can't promote their innocence. Have your heart in the right place for Summer Wells and establish a friendship with them and let these scumbags up on your panel. The conversation is never going to be, it's not going to be good. This guy is using the same tactics. He's over on Kick now because he got canceled. You keep telling him he's done such great things on YouTube, which will continue to debunk until you get to your head. But on Kick, he's calling Don Wells' phone number. Like I just said 20 minutes ago, Don just changed his phone number. He called me on that voicemail because Don was ignoring him. Doug and Josh from the lab are two creators that will antagonize Don to the point where he goes in the chat and then they drop the link and then they get a pissed off Don Wells. He's already pissed off about what these people are saying. So he's there to defend his family's name. Then they want to ask a whole bunch of questions. Neither one of these guys know what they ate for dinner last night. But they want to twist Don's words up. This is not hard to figure out. They're not good people. And at the end of your very own life, you recognize that Candace Wells is upset. This guy's a scumbag. He's bashed them for years, said horrible things about them. How could you call yourself a friend of Candace and have this guy on your panel? How could you call yourself a friend of Candace and have Benny Keys on your panel? I like you. That worries me. That worries me.
Be gone, but what will be gone is whatever else people wanted to get rid of. But what the great part about this future is that we all have free thinking, and this case is going to come to an end someday, and there's going to be all these other cases.
You cannot please everybody on YouTube, and if you don't know that, Miss Daisy, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you. You cannot make everybody happy. What you have to do is recognize the relationships that you've made, whether it's subscribers, whether it's creators, whether it's members, whoever it is. You have your relationships, and they will give you feedback. They will tell you. They'll be honest with you. You cannot be like that with you cannot please the masses. No one can. And the bigger that your channel gets, the more you have to deal with that. You have to be you. You have to go with your gut. You cannot please everybody. This is spitting in the face of the Wells. There's no other way it is. This is not your side versus him. This is you letting him up, not understanding his tactics, what he does, and what I'm about to play. He's dissing them. He's dissing them right in front of you on your own panel. I would never allow that to happen. Never. I like you, but this worries me. This is to be the first time I ever say this. People like Cam and Allie, I don't have a problem with them. People think Cam has been A-OK to Don. And I would mostly agree with that. You know. But I had a problem with Cam in the beginning. And I remember what he texted and emailed me. And the people who think he's been the people that think that he's been just A-OK and had the wells back, you're dead wrong. I've never showed it. I've never played it. Do I have it? Yeah. Am I going to expose it? No. I don't have a problem with Cam. People get easily fooled on this thing here. Have I showed it to Don? You bet your ass I have. I've been loyal to them. I don't know, man. Maybe we're just different, man. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but this is what I'm doing up here. I'm tired of people taking advantage of them, man. You have to toughen up.
Cases that need us, and at the end of the day, these irrelevant people are going to be gone. The TMs, the BKs, the ABs, anybody who's an acronym, anybody who's a abbreviation. Why is abbreviation such a long fucking damn word? It doesn't matter why it is.
Listen, Doug.
Right?
Can you not come back? Because I really, like, you were great with, like, the Dylan rounds. You've helped a lot of people in a lot of cases. I'm sorry that you got caught up in the Summer Wells case and that happened to you. I don't support.
Helped a lot of people in a lot of cases. People who have been ex-mods for Doug. Chat, can you help me with this? I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to put your comments on the screen. Go ahead. This is my chat. Go ahead, chat. Mark, would you help me out? She'll watch this. I'm going to make sure she watches this. Babe, couple sentences about Doug. Mark, Dee Dee, help me out. Is checking in here? Check it. Help me out. Anybody can help me out, but specifically in cases. What's up, Miss Debbie? How are you? Never said one word towards the Wells family. Who's that? I hear you, Soleil. A lot of people have. A lot of people have. You don't think I've laughed with Don when the story I told before when I called him, I was trying to boo him up. Of course. Listen, Don gave Benny Keys my number. You don't think we laugh about we laugh at that today? Well, I have to laugh about it. I didn't say nice things about him publicly. What's up, Miss Joanne? How are you? Let me see the comments. What's up, Miss Paula? How are you? Doug is disgusting. I'll send her a message to come up here. I would appreciate it. Doug is, what does it say? What? Doug is gross. All right. What is it? Yeah, I know that. But the guy has exploited Summers he exploits the case worse than most. He just puts her name in the title. I just shared something in my community the other day. It was Summer Wells chopped up like Harmony Montgomery. He puts her name in the title. I don't have a hashtag of Summer or nothing to do with her in this live. This guy will use her name in the title and just talk crazy paranoia talk for 3 hours, and it's crazy. I don't what. Maybe Miss Daisy, when you watch this, you could educate me. What case did he do great work in? He went to the West case and got arrested. Have you ever seen the video where they said, Doug Hunton, where's the boys? What case has he done good work in? I think you're confused about the Dylan Rounds case. I don't know if you know who Jim Terry is. That might help you understand that a little bit better. But where's the great work at? I'm just asking.
For anybody losing their channel, nobody deserves. I know you worked hard for your channel.
Let's do this, since you're saying stuff that's right up my alley and stuff that I really agree with. I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna call truce with you, and I apologize for. I'm gonna apologize for anything that I've said, even whether it's a cow.
Also, when you watch this back,
Daisy, clean up your.
Oh man, what happened? Okay, when you watch this back, you should reach out to Cash Gurnan and have a private conversation. You should reach out to Cash Gurnan and have a private conversation about Doug and Benny Keys. If you were to do that, if you were to do that, Miss Daisy, you would never have them on your panel ever again.
Your own backyard before you go trying to clean up someone else.
Nobody talk no way.
Well,
you want me
if
to
you're talking about me being a mess,
what do you want to talk about?
We're going to have Dylan Rounds case and other cases and stuff.
I appreciate that. I put a lot of work in. I appreciate all that.
I just think that sometimes this case can get a little bit overwhelming for everybody, not just.
Well, see, I'm humble enough to know that whether I have a channel or not, and if people took me down for a reason, or if people got rid of a good voice, it's up to whoever to think, and it's up to their perception, right? The cancel culture is.
Mark, I completely forgot about that Daniel Robinson case too. I do know that he messed that up. I'm gonna get a hold of you this week. See, I need to get enlightened about that. I remember him messing it up, but to be honest, I don't remember what all he did. We'll get in touch. Miss Daisy, look at, I have a lot of lives on Doug. Not my opinion. What he's done to people here on YouTube in this community, you should hear their stories. You really should. What I'm trying to tell you is, you have a private investigator that's telling you he's, because of the fallout, because Doug took advantage of him, leading you and many others to believe that Doug takes credit for Dylan Rounds. Through this fallout, you have a private investigator exposing that the guy's family that has they have restraining orders on them. He's shoving brooms up people's asses. We have many videos of him running around California, Ventura City, trying to sue police officers and hospitals. This is like literal facts. When he goes to true crime, the first case he covers gets arrested. Somebody please drop the link in the chat. Screws up a lot of cases. Summer Wells, look at the comments. He doesn't provide any information. What he likes to do is antagonize Don. He knows how to hook, line, and sinker Don. He knows what to say, what thumbnails to and he gets an aggravated Don Wells. This is the same tactic that scumbag the lab uses. And Don falls for it. Well, he used to. I've been working very hard on him. People laughed when I said you're not going to see Don on panels. Sure, he comes up on mine every now and then. Sure, I heard he was on Shares the other day. He won't be back on that one. But I've been working hard on this guy not to feed into the same games. And here you go. And you're a friend. Nah, something ain't right.
Is let me tell you guys something, and you guys are going to believe it and hate this person so much because that person you should already hate by the time you hear him for the first time, because I told you should hate him, right? So the cancel culture is telling you should hate the truth all at first because the cancel culture.
Listen, chat, Danny, this is a good comment you say. I really like Miss Daisy. I tried to warn her to shut Doug down. I got very worried up and said mean things to her. I hated to see her kissing up to him. He's evil. And listen, I appreciate you having the courage to say something. And I know there's a lot of people probably in the bushes or watch this replay and they may not comment because maybe they support both of us. This is not a me versus Miss Daisy thing. Okay, I like Miss Daisy. Okay, I think her problem is she tries to please everybody. She tries to make everybody happy. Why? For what? You listen. You would not be a good friend to me if you're putting my enemies on the panel. I mean, damn. You know, you don't do that. You let him come up and say you want to be civil. Is there something you want to talk about? As soon as he starts painting his narrative as a friend, you say, hey, man, look, stop with that. We're not going to do that over here. This is my channel. This is my channel. Take the microphone away. Hey, this is my channel, man. We're not doing that over here. If he continues to do it, you boot him. And Miss Daisy, you put your own channel in jeopardy. That's ban evading. You put your channel in jeopardy. You think I will let Molly go lightly up here? Hell no. Hell no. Come on, man. You trying to please everybody, then end up you fucking yourself. And you're really supposed to be friends with them. You know all this. You're a grown woman, man. I know YouTube can get complicated. I know how frustrating it is being on the side of truth. I know I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at you, but in a good way, man. I commend you for the stance that you take. I do. But come on, man. Come on, man.
Wants the not truth out there because that cancel culture can live longer because you guys are bigger and the cancel culture is bigger than the truth tellers, right? So you guys can outweigh us, but you can't get rid of us. That's the fact. Whether I lose my channels or whatever, whoever it is,
exactly.
We're going to be around, and it's going to be about these voiceless people. And Summer Wells is a big part of my life. Like, yeah. I'm no thanks may be dead, but I'm not. I'm my own person. Right? I've been a moniker in pro wrestling. I've been a moniker everywhere else. Guess who I am? I'm a
pro wrestling. The dude. I dropped the link already. That's just another lie, another fantasy. Now we're gonna get Tough Doug at the end of this clip, and we're gonna end this with a little bit of comedy. But first, I gotta keep drilling Miss Daisy for a little bit. I want this to sink in. But I'm gonna just show you how fake he is. He's not a pro wrestler. That never happened. He is a failed comedian, but that's neither here nor there. The broomstick is true. The restraining order is true. Okay. Debbie, what he did is, so just so you know, Debbie, he made another YouTube channel. Okay. And he kind of like slickly, on the sly, he puts lives up over there. Last time I checked, it had about 600 or 700 subscribers. The problem is the way that he got terminated, he can never do that. Like, at any given point, it's going to take somebody to bring that to YouTube's attention, and it's gone. He knows that. But he's trying to put, this is not the only channel he's hopped on. He's hopped on Prayer Gardens. But you have to know the terms of service here if you're a creator. By you letting him on your channel, you can get canceled. Benny too. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. Not Benny. Not Benny.
I'm a real fucking person. And at the end of the day, if this real person has to come out and lose that moniker, yeah, it's a tattoo that may be on me, but it's a part of me.
Now, this makes me smile because he got his YouTube channel tattooed on his leg, which happens to be a cover-up of Miss Daisy. He's a Jewish Aryan. Okay, he's a Jewish Aryan. I have text between him, one of the first words he ever told me, because he wanted me to come on a show with the whole thing I was telling you earlier about with the tragedy pimps, the police report, when they're going to Tennessee. He wanted the juice and the gossip when we did fall out. And the way he approached me was, he's done time in prison. And I believe somebody was accusing me to be racist at the time. I don't remember. It's happened so many times. I don't care anymore. But he approached me in a way that I've done time too in California, and this is who I hung out with. And I don't trust that for a fuck thing. But this is also coming after he shot me Donwell's number. I'm like, let me just see what this guy's talking about. That's how that got established. My meat and potatoes is, what he told me was he was rocking with the Aryans inside of the penitentiary in California. Now, I didn't figure out till later he was a Jewish man, which contradicts itself, because what would Hitler do? But this is who you're letting on your panel.
Me.
Well,
So like that'll never be gone. But what will be gone is whatever else people wanted to get rid of. But what the great part about this future is that we all have free thinking, and this case is going to come to an end someday. And there's all these other cases that need us. And at the end of the day, these irrelevant people are going to be gone. The TMs, the BKs, the ABs, anybody who's an acronym, anybody who's a abbreviation. Why is abbreviation such a long fucking damn word? It doesn't matter why it is.
Listen, Doug.
Right?
Can you not come back? Because I really, like, you were great with like the Dylan rounds. You've helped a lot of people in a lot of cases. I'm sorry that you got caught up in the Summer Wells case and that happened to you. I don't support
you back, okay, buddy? He was the nicest guy as he was getting arrested even.
Like right here, he's shitting on the Wells, and you just, this is your platform. You're just letting him like sideways, like, let's hear it.
So Don's a charmer.
Yeah.
See, Don's like a serial killer, like not a Dahmer, but like who was the ones that you could think that was a charmer? Who was the most recent serial killer? And
At the end of this live, Miss Daisy, you're asking Candace why she's upset. Come on, man.
And I know what the answer is, but let me ask if you can see what type of serial killers or something that you could place Don to, like who's charming, who you would never think. I mean, and like I'm gonna say Al instead of Al Bundy just to help you out. But who's the one? Yeah, okay, so charmers, right? Don's a charmer. Fucking so was anybody who.
Guys, if you're just in the chat, if you watch this replay, I am not bashing Miss Daisy. I am not bashing Miss Daisy. I like Miss Daisy. I think her problem is she tries to make everyone happy. That's not a big problem or a hard one to fix. This is just an educational lesson on Doug. Okay. All I can do is tell her that I've interviewed many women who he's done horrendous things to. All I can do is give her facts and links and articles and everything else about the guy. And then if I do everything in my power as an educational lesson on how to be a good friend and who not have on your panel. I mean, I basically am saying right now that I like Miss Daisy, but if I ever see BK or Doug on the panel again, I'm done. But I don't think she knows everything. I don't think she knows about those police videos. I don't think she knows about the LA Times article. I don't think she knows about the women who have been on my panel who have also have I don't think she knows. I don't think she knows who Jim Terry is. That's fine. That's not her fault. This is just an educational lesson. This is nothing. I'm not bashing her. She needs to know. I tagged her in this. I asked her to join. I'm not going to talk shit to her. I'm not making parodies about her. No. I will share this with you. I called Don and I said, would you like to come up? He said, it's kind of tough. I can't tonight. I said, I need a statement from you. I'm going to talk about Ziggy and Benny Pergarden, this guy that people are calling TBI about nothing for. I'm going to end this on Daisy. I told him what I was going to do. Don told me this. I'm the type of guy that will give a million chances out. But Doug would take 2 million. He's done too much damage. That is coming from Don Wells, our friend, Miss Daisy, and that is on my entire life, my wife, everything that I love.
Somebody who goes to church that's a murderer. Like Don's a charmer.
Well,
Like they got kicked out of that Baptist church and they went somewhere else. But Don says he met David Dotson one day, and David.
You're letting him lie and gaslight and smear right on your channel. I would have stopped him right now. You don't though.
Dotson preached that word to him that the SA Church.
You let him once again disrespect not only Don, but a whole church. And Miss Daisy, this goes beyond Don and Candace Wells now. You talk a lot about your Christian. You got to stand up, man. This is why I said you got to get tougher. You got to get tougher on who you let on your panel. And look here, man, you don't need me to tell you, man. The Bible says you always stick up for God. You always stick up for God.
SDA church. Don, basically, buddy, I go to the SA church. The SDA church, it's basically better than the Crystal Methodist Church. God, sorry, I'm trying to be better. That was a terrible impression of Don as well. But you know what I'm saying? Like, these people have a pattern of practice. Like, they get kicked out of places for conning, right? They're church cons, but everything else is a con. So at what point do we stop the conning? And where do we see what's real about what they've lost? Because they've lost every kid they've ever had and never turned back. Why now?
Okay, but listen, the point of the matter is, what if you could come back to YouTube and do a different case, would you walk away from this case? Because I said,
never. You're gonna have to kill me before I get off this. This case is gonna be solved before something happens. I'll give up on true crime completely after this case is solved. If that's what people want, that's what people want. I'm fucking done. But I ain't gonna let this case. I ain't gonna let this case go south when I know the north side of things, and I've been involved in this since day one.
So clearly, to Miss Daisy's credit, she doesn't know anything about Doug. She knows very, very minimal. And she also doesn't know, when she's asking, will he come back to YouTube? That's impossible. You can't. If you get banned from Facebook, he's banned from the platform. I mean, this is a platform where you have to show your face. The only way Doug comes back is, well, I'm not going to tell him how to do it, but you wouldn't know. If you support him, you wouldn't know. That's the only way he can come back. She doesn't understand that he can't come back. and she's praising him on the work that he did, which is very weird to me. Running Bear, I know what you're saying, Running Bear. I get it. I get it. But I don't understand. This is the problem, man. When you're too trusting and you don't have your background done on people. I mean, this guy is up on your panel just saying sideways digs. You're not stopping him. And Candace was, I don't know this, but Candace was probably in the chat, not typing, but listening. And Miss Daisy, Candace hates this guy. Hates this guy. So does Don. I just don't get it, man. You should know that.
And I'm gonna tell you, I've been on the right side of it since day one, and nobody's gonna persuade me from what Candace or Don has ever done.
Summer case is so complicated, Doug.
It's not.
It takes a toll on all of us, not just you, or not just the people that's against the whales, but it takes even more of a toll on people that supports the whales.
Y'all are fucking.
Listen, they say awful things about me, Doug. You can't let that.
I just wanted them to know, all them that say I'm bad news. They can all fuck the fuck off, and by the way, they're bad news.
Well,
still are.
Dylan Round's case and all those that you've done before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because this case will actually take you out. Like, I'm lucky.
Hey, hold on. I've moved twice. I've been shot at, and I'm in LA. I've had to move twice. I've had to get 2 different cars. Right. I've felt the pain already.
Great. He did great with Dylan Round. But he did good with other cases. He did great with the Dylan Rounds case. I know he's hurt. I didn't. I'm just kidding. But y'all, what's going on? Sorry, I missed it. What is going on? His channel. He worked hard for his channel. We all want Baby Summer found, y'all. We do. Not just one person, but all of us as creators.
Y'all are fucking.
Listen, they say awful things about me, Doug. You can't let that.
I just wanted them to know, all them that say I'm bad news. They can all fuck the fuck off, and by the way, they're bad news.
Let's see. How can you feel bad for someone whose channel he worked hard for?
One of you that are team up in a group, everybody online bullies, all y'all are a bunch of bitches. And in real life, I'll beat every one of you with one hand behind my back. It's a fact. You fucking bitches.
Well, Doug, the best way to get people that bully you and hurt you is to keep trying and keep going forward and keep doing what you was doing. Don't let that get the best of you. Because
thank you so much. But like this has made me better, right?
All right, Miss Daisy, I'm trying to give you a lesson, and just so you understand this all the way completely, you have Doug Bear talking about his haters and who doesn't like him. He's going to beat anybody's ass all the time. Well, you may not understand this. Maybe you haven't caught this live. But Doug also said this to me. If you hit me up, I will gladly share the correspondence with us, where he was talking rough and stuff with his Afro puff to me. The problem is White Boy did not see that shit. So I said, you know what, dude? How about we do it in a legal event? A lot of back and forth went, and he accidentally did the thing that he just did on your panel, which was talk too loud and too tough. I'm a dude. I see right through that shit. So he slipped up on something, Miss Daisy. And because this is an educational lesson and all, let me take you back just a little bit up to what happened. I challenged Doug to a legal street fight. He then said to his supporters that he's going to do this, and that to me and everything else. And I was all for it. But I noticed that he wasn't really about what he was saying. So he slipped up because he won't stop talking. He has to act tough and hard, the paranoia. Meat potatoes is he accidentally slipped up and gave me the gym where he said that he wanted to fight me at, and here's the rest.
for calling West Coast Jiu-Jitsu. We will return your call after 5 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, how you doing? I'm just calling to confirm. There was a YouTuber. I'm also a YouTuber. His name is Toughen, and apparently he has contacted you guys to set up a boxing match that you're going to allow in your establishment. I am totally in, full for it. Would like to possibly. I also believe he is going to put up $5,000, which I like to donate half of that to your establishment and the other half to the Missing Children Foundation. If you can give me a call back, I'll leave my contact details with you, just to confirm that he did set this up with you, and I would be greatly appreciative of it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was all a lie. We caught Doug in a big lie, Miss Daisy. And then what happened is he told his audience that wasn't the place that he said, and I got the screenshot and everything else. Then he said that he stubbed his toes. He stubbed his toes, and he's out on the sideline. He's out on the sideline because with a stubbed toe. And this is when I proceeded to learn about brooms and everything else. But Miss Daisy, look, if you want any information on Doug, I have hour-long lives worth of content where you could easily find out about his stubbed toes, his lies, what he's done to the wells, government housing. You might even find out about a penis size or two.
Your penis is too small.
Excuse me?
It doesn't, and it can't, and I can't, and it's just too damn small.
All joking around. Well, you actually could find a live with his penis on it, but a serious, as far as cases go, you know, I'm gonna take my personal problem with him out. Miss Daisy, this is an educational lesson. You said he did great work in the West case. Well, I'm not going to tell you my opinion on it, but I do know somebody that was there, another creator, and have a listen.
One thing that I dislike in life, especially man, is a coward. Now, look, there's multiple cowards out there, and there's different levels to the extent to go to a kid's case and alter with people and alter with the case and bring so much hate and negativity and steady attack people and point fingers and label people as Crips and or the Crips did this and this and this and this in such a racist manner, especially going from race to race, especially from white boy to black folks. You know what I mean? You're already stepping into something that's serious, something that's hurtful. People that's already dealing with a lot of pain, from day one searchers to family members, and you coming on here with derogatory stuff. Oh, people was druggies, people was Crips, putting all these jackets on people, right? But when people respond and you cause that attention that you asked for, and that energy that you put in the atmosphere, and it comes back on you. You want to run to the police. You want to be scared. You can't stand up like a man. You can't hold your own because you behind the internet, behind the keyboard, doing all this fuck shit and fuck shit. And I make a little comment like the Crips is calling the police. I'm not a Crip. I didn't put nothing out there on you. You did this to yourself, bro. Just think about it. You're on the internet talking to thousands of people. You know what I mean? You don't know who you talking to. You talking to complete strangers, bro. That know your face. So the reality of life is, of course, people was gonna be on your head. Now, what type of people we never may know. But I know one thing for sure. You did violate a lot of Crips and disrespected them, bro. So what do you expect the outcome to be? Don't shoot the messenger for me delivering the message and then want to run to the police and all straight shot with everybody. Police coming to speak to me about anything because I didn't threaten you at all. You've been attacking me since day one. All I do is respond, and then I've been on your head lately on the internet-wise, just exposing you because of the type of coward that you are and the things that you did in the Boyce case. Then you try to go to other cases like the Summer Wells case and act like you ain't did shit over here. Oh, but you're not disrespecting them because it's a different race? It's not a group of black folks that's out here trying to do something? Like, come on, bro.
You see what he said?
I'm just giving you a heads up, you know what I mean? Not to mention all the stuff that you said about me. You want to fight me. How you want to fight me?
Mod, please drop Ray Sean's channel in the link for Miss Daisy.
But when shit hit the fan, you run, bro. Coward. And that's what I don't like. But we're gonna expose all these cowards and all these frauds and this true crime community that think that they're really doing something. In reality, they're not. Because they're
All right, man. Ray Sean is a good dude, man. I respect Ray Sean. I support Ray Sean. Shout out to Ray Sean. Y'all drop his link in the chat. Doug gaslit this guy. This guy actually lives in Cal City or somewhere near it. Benny Keys, Doug. He did not do great work, Miss Daisy. You just hear this guy telling a story about the damage that Doug did out there and then jumped right into Summer Wells' case. It sounds familiar. It sounds kind of like how I was at the Petito case, and just like Ray Sean met this Benny guy and this Doug guy, and they were there and they jumped into Summer Wells. It sounds familiar. It almost sounds like me and my wife out there with Petito. We met these weirdos and they jumped from this case to this case. This is not going to get a career out of it. But Miss Daisy, I'm going to leave you with this. Again, nothing but respect to you. I'm not talking shit to Miss Daisy. I'm not putting her down. This is a stern educational lesson. I don't expect her to know all this, but I do expect her to have enough respect for me and Don and Candace after tonight, after dropping a lot of receipts, to say, hey, no, you're not coming on my panel anymore. You got to start putting your foot down. I saw you the other night. I was in your chat. Some bitch was getting mouthy with you. In your own words, you said, you get the steel toe boot. That's who needs it. So let me share this with you. This is not a joke. I'm not joking about a broomstick, people. But I realize people don't, people think that some guy in the UK can get arrested for saying crazy things about Summer. It's just not possible. It's not. But I'll leave everybody. I'm sorry, chat. You guys have seen this a million times. But some people haven't. You know what keeps it real? Police unlikely to file charges in wrestlers hazing. So when he was on your live, before he made up all the gaslighting and all the smears about the Wells, you didn't even catch the first lie when he said, I went to professional wrestling. No, this is where it started and ended for his wrestling career. Thousand Oaks. Despite community furor about a pattern of hazing among Westlake High School wrestlers, detectives will probably never file criminal charges against perpetrators, authorities said Tuesday. It doesn't look like there's going to be any arrests, said Sergeant Mendoza of the Ventura County Sheriff's Department. Our investigators are going to speak with victims and their parents before pressing any charges. We're going to do what's in the best interest of the children. While investigators are confident that the hazing occurred, they say up to the victims and their parents to press charges. Maximum offense of wrestlers could be charged with is a misdemeanor assault and battery. One of the victim's mothers said she was not interested in legal action. I don't want to press charges, she said, and neither does my son. Instead, the mother took a more mellow tone. I hear I should be outraged, she said. I know it's terrible, but I've been teaching for 31 years, and I know what boys can do. Normal kids with stellar reports sometimes do things that are inappropriate, but I don't think that the transgression should ruin their entire life. their high school career over one silly and immature mistake. School officials, however, may still mete out the punishment in connection with the incidents in which wrestlers grabbed the students, pinned them down, and probed their buttocks with the handle of a dry mop bucket dubbed, quote, Pedro, end quote. The students were fully clothed and none suffered injury. Possible punishment could include suspension or expulsion of the handful of students who actually committed the hazing. When word of the hazing reached school administration last month, they canceled the remainder of the wrestling season and launched an investigation. Athletic Director Joseph Pollock declined to say what discipline the school might impose. But the wrestling season would not be reinstated this year, he said. School officials said detectives believe the hazing was inflicted by a handful of the team's 27 wrestlers, witnessed by many. They also believe the entire team was at least aware of the incidents, which took place on campus between September 8th and December 8th. The Sheriff's Department investigation will probably be closed until the end of the week, he added, a few more wrestlers and witnesses to be interviewed. At least one parent of a wrestler viewed the news as vindication. He called for reinstatement of the wrestling team minus those implicated in the hazing. Quote, my reaction is being astounded at the school's overreaction, said parent Bill Hunton. Whoa, what's this about? Whose last name is Hunton? Let's read this again. I'm sorry about that. My reaction is being astounded to the school's overreaction, said parent Bill Hunton, who added that his son, Doug, was not present when the hazing occurred. You have some kids about to go to state championships and they have done something at all wrong and their season is wiped out because the school acted before doing a thorough investigation. This leaves some people with a bad taste in their mouth. Although Sutton said you cannot be too careful in these possible assault, blah, 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 blah. So what does that mean? White boy, that doesn't mean that clears them up. Well, who is Bill Hunton? Bill Hunton happens to be Doug's dad. Bill Hunton happens to work on the county police department. Of course, an officer of the law in the county is going to check and talk to the media, not state himself as a police officer, but a parent. And no wonder the charges got dropped. Now let Doug tell it. For some reason, Doug gets very angry when this is brought up. As he should be. He's a weirdo. He wants to talk about Don. Don ain't never shoved broomstick in. Come on, Pedro, that's right up Doug's alley. That, if I could bet money, I would bet the house. This is all Doug's idea. I mean, I can't prove that, but I'm willing to bet that. Anyway, Miss Daisy, that's it. You're caught up. Listen, I can go on and on and on for hours. Don't do it again. No bueno. Toughen up. I can't tell you how to run your channel. I can't. You can do whatever you want. I cannot do that to you. However, you are friends with Don and Candace. With that being said, I know personally, because I myself am friends with Don and Candace, I myself would have nobody that I reviewed tonight. I didn't review you with an educational course. Anyone other than you that I talked about would never be allowed on this channel to say one ill word. They can't leave a comment with their narrative in my comment section without me deleting it. Why can't we do this together? Why can't you show the same loyalty? I didn't play the rest of that video, but you're wondering why Candace is upset. Well, take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. Until the next one, guys.